Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the all-new Ninja Plus poker set by Matthew Garrett and Boje Hoseth. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Magic product review where my job is to take a closer look at some of the latest and greatest Magic on the market. And today I'm very excited to talk to you guys about Matthew Garrett's new addition to the Ninja Plus range. I'm talking, of course, about Ninja Plus Poker. Now, before I talk about Ninja Plus Poker, I wanted to just take a couple of minutes to chat about the entire Ninja Plus range, or at least the 4 main ring sets, because over the years, Matthew has put out a lot of material using the close-up linking rings, and I know that it could start to get a little confusing for people. They don't quite know which set is which set comes with what does what, and so on and so forth. So I wanted to do just a quick little crash course to talk about 3 ring sets, and then we're gonna jump into the newest one, the 4th of these sets, the Ninja Plus Poker. So it all started with the original Ninja Plus. Now the idea with this was to be able to join a random object onto a hoop. And that random object that Matthew decided to come up with is a finger ring, a wedding band, whatever you want to call it, right? So the idea is very, very simple. You take the wedding band, you take a close-up linking ring, and of course you're going to join those 2 objects together. Now the really, really cool part is after you've joined those 2 objects together, you can hand everything out, it can be fully examined, and you can show that the rings truly are linked, right? You can do some cool moves, you can get the rings to jump, hop from one hoop onto the other, and like I said, you can hand this out and it is 100% examinable. The spectator is not going to find any openings, any gaps, anything like that. Pop the ring right back off, you can put it right back on your finger again, bada bing, bada boom, you're ready to go, right? And it comes with everything that you need to be able to perform this. Now that's the main effect. On top of all that, if you just purchase the Ninja Plus ring set, you're also gonna learn hours and hours and hours of material. I'm talking about moves, I'm talking about routines, I'm talking about ways to take other objects and join them onto the hoop, right? Something as small as a ring, something as large as like a bangle bracelet. I'm talking about joining other objects like polo mints, including flash, string. You can add fire and stuff to this. There's a whole range of different things, and you're gonna have different instructors, right? You're gonna have Matthew Garrett teaching most of it. You're gonna have Matthew Lamate, another amazing magician that's really great with the rings. He's gonna teach you some amazing, I like to call them high-risk moves, right? Throwing the rings in the air and linking them while they're in mid-flight and all of that stuff. Shutagawa, which a lot of this stuff was based on his original work with Masahiro Yanagita's routine, the ninja rings, right? So all kinds of stuff. You can consider these bonus ideas if you want. And the really good thing about this is if you purchase this ring set, there are routines that right out of the box you could start performing. You can walk up to a table, you can join the ring, hand it out, let them examine it, take the ring back off, and then that could be like a routine, right? Or you could perform a whole full-on routine that's like 5 minutes long with all this crazy stuff going on. So a lot of really cool stuff with the Ninja Plus set. And you may have recognized this on Penn Teller Fool Us. Matthew was gracious enough to allow me to be able to perform his Ninja Plus routine on Fool Us with another bit, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But the second thing that I wanted to talk about is GIR, and this is Garrett's Impossible Rings. Now this is more of a classic take on the linking rings. Let me make sure I get all the ring sets out here. 1, 2, 3, 4 rings, right? So maybe you're used to a more classic 4-ring routine. But here's the really cool part. There are no openings, there's no breaks, no gaps in the rings. You can join them, and then you can pass the rings out immediately for examination, right? You take another ring just like this. It's examined, it's passed out for examination, right? You do the magic move and it links on, right? Join straight onto the hoop just like this. You can pass this impossible object out. It can be examined, you can unlink it, and then you can immediately pass everything out, right? That's the really cool thing about this routine, is that everything is 100% examinable. For those that are not familiar, right, with the original routine, you can't do this. You can't pass these rings out for examination and have the spectator checking on everything, right? But with this routine, you can. You could pass this out, you can make the rings pop right back off again just like this, right? You can unlink the rings, take them all apart, everything is handed out, the spectator could check all of it. So with the GIR set, you can perform any linking ring routine that you're already doing with like a normal ring set. Like I mentioned Shutagawa earlier, let's just say you're performing Shutagawa's Ninja Plus exactly the original way that Shutagawa does it. You can use the GIR ring set because it does include that key ring as well. And then when you're ready, you can swap out the key ring for Garrett's Impossible ring, or you can use Garrett's Impossible ring in the routine because it hides in plain sight. You can use that ring and not use the ring, if you know what I mean. You can just have it there waiting in plain sight, ready to go. And then if that moment comes up where someone's like, oh, I know how you do this, there's a gap in the ring, you can use the Impossible ring, join, unlink, and then hand everything out for examination, and you're completely clean, right? So really, really cool routine. Works with Masato rings, works with Ninja rings, works with Malero rings. Any routines that you're already doing, if you use this ring set, you can include Garrett's Impossible rings and the routines that come with it, right? Now, along with Matthew Garrett teaching his work, you're gonna have Brian Hoseth, and you're gonna have Mike Hill teaching their ideas as well. And let me just tell you, they have come up with some really cool stuff. You've got super easy to do moves, you've got clever bits that take advantage of the makeup of the rings, and then of course you got some more advanced work as well that's really gonna blow your spectators' minds. And the fun part about this, and this goes with all of these as well, you're gonna have easy routines, you're gonna have more difficult routines. This is gonna allow you to have something to work up to practice to, right? And like I said, with GIR, it's the same exact thing. You can learn routines right out of the box that you can go out and you can start showing your friends, and then you can work your way up to the more difficult stuff. And you can build an entire routine, you can mix and match, it's completely modular, you can do the bits that you like, take out the bits that you don't, and it all works, right? Now, here's a really interesting take on the linking rings. This is Ninja Plus Fusion, right? This is created by Matthew Garrett, and Brian Caswell came up with this concept. So Matthew wanted to do something a little bit different. He's like, yeah, linking rings together is really cool, but I really want to try joining another object. What could that object be? And with Ninja Plus, like I said, he's experimented with all sorts of different size objects, but never has he joined an object onto a ring that was completely solid, right? And what do I mean completely solid? I mean like a solid steel ball, for example, right? You have a solid steel ball bearing, you can show it all around, and you have a hoop. And all you have to do is just take it just like this, and you could just slowly start to melt it straight through. You can show it all around. It looks pretty realistic, doesn't it? Show it all around. Of course, that ball will just hang there. I'm not hiding anything in my hand. And then, as always, you can hand that out, and it is 100% examinable. You could have the spectator check this out. They could see that the ring is completely solid. It does not come off, right? And that is just one of the many ideas taught here with Fusion, right? Now, for me personally, the thing I like about Fusion is it's a chance to kind of do a little tempo change. You take a deep breath and you slow things down. You're doing dynamic links with the Ninja Plus. You're doing all this different stuff. With GIR, you're doing a classic but very impossible to figure out linking ring routine. With Fusion, you have that very slow moment where you can melt the ring straight the way through, right? Now, this is actually the first project that I got to work with Matthew Garrett on, talking about Ninja Plus Fusion. He sent me a prototype set and he was like, hey, you wanna have a crack at it? Take a look, see what you come up with. I came up with a couple of ideas, right? And magicians from all over the world came up with their ideas too. This probably has the most diversity as far as the different people that are on the project, right? So definitely take a look at this too. And like I said, with Fusion, there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with this that are completely different than any other linking routine out on the market. Now, with all of that said and done, that brings us to the moment that you've all been waiting for, of course, the review subject of this video, Ninja Plus Poker. Hey everyone, so sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to take a quick minute to thank the newest members of the mob for joining. Thank you guys so much. It's because of you that I'm truly able to keep this channel going. You're gonna get early access to videos, you're gonna access tutorials, lectures, and even get one-on-one access with me where you can pick my brain about anything that you like. If you guys would like to join them and become a member of the mob, please click the join button, or you can click the membership tab right here on the channel for more information. If you guys would like to see some more awesome magic, please head over to my online magic shop at o'brienmagic.com. And as always, if you enjoy these videos, please go ahead and click the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for the interruption. And now back to the video. All right, let's take a look now at Ninja Plus Poker. With Ninja Plus, we already learned that we can join other objects together, right? Like not just rings, but we can use like a wedding ring or a bangle bracelet. You can link it onto a set of keys, all kinds of different things you can do with it. With Fusion, we learned that we can use other objects that are not rings necessarily, right? We can link it straight on to a solid steel ball bearing, for example. Now, with Ninja Plus Poker, we are going to take that dynamic to the next level, and we're going to do it with, you guessed it, poker chips, right? So these poker chips here, you'll notice, have a little hole drilled right through the center. We'll use a couple of these. And the reason that they have a hole drilled through the center of them is after a casino is done using these to prevent people from like counterfeiting them or to use them to cash in and make some more money, they'll just stamp a hole in the middle of them so that everyone knows that these are no longer usable poker chips that cannot be used in a game, right? Or at least that's the story that you can tell people, right? And it's a believable story. You've seen them do these with decks of cards. They'll cut the edges or they'll stamp a hole right in the middle of the deck of cards. You can say that they do these with the poker chips as well. The other thing that you can do, because with the set, you do actually receive a completely full poker chip as well. So what you can do is you can take that poker chip just like this, right? And you can maybe bore a hole right through the middle of it with your finger, right? Just like this, and then pluck your finger right out the middle and show that now the poker chip has a hole in the middle of it, right? You could do that as well. You could do like a karate coin thing, right? Where you take the poker chip, right? You show that the poker chip is whole, you toss it into the air, and you stab your finger right through the poker chip. There's all kinds of cool stuff you could do with it. You get a bunch of these poker chips and duplicate poker chips with the hole already bored through the middle of it, right? And that's just getting into the poker chips. We haven't even gotten into the ring routine yet, which is another thing I really like about this. This adds an extra dynamic. Not only is it a whole new routine, right? We're doing magic with poker chips. Maybe you just finished doing a gambling demonstration with cards and now you want to do a routine with poker chips on the table. It feels like coin magic. You can make the poker chips appear and vanish, right? All kinds of really fun stuff. But you have the poker chips out, you put holes in them, or like I said, you can introduce them with the holes. And now we're gonna go into the main routine using the 2 poker chips and the ring, right? And again, just like with Ninja Plus, you can join that straight on. You can show that the poker chips really are linked on, and then you can immediately hand that out for examination, right? And the cool thing about this, I believe this is the first ring set that Matthew has put out with some caveats. I think he's made some of these custom for people, but this is the first mass-produced ring set that Matthew Garrett has put out that has multiple different objects linked onto a hoop, right? So there's all kinds of shenanigans that you can get into with this. Let me go ahead and grab this out here. Sorry, it gets like tangled in the box there. There we go. So you can get up to much the same types of shenanigans that you would get into with Ninja Plus, right? So we join those on there. You can link all of these together just like this. And then you can start moving the rings around, right? Like you see how I have like a chain of 4 going. You can join that on there, get that ring to pop off to join the other one, unlink everything. Again, that immediately gets handed out for examination. They can check it, that comes off, and now they can check everything, right? And that's just like a basic routine that you can do using Ninja Plus Poker. Now, what comes in the set? You're gonna get the Ninja Plus gimmick. You're gonna get a key ring so that you can do standard links, unlinks. You're gonna get some poker chips. Right, you're gonna actually get 3 different, let me take these all out here so you can see. You're gonna get 3 different colored poker chips. So you got a green poker chip, a white poker chip, and a red poker chip, so you can choose what kind of shenanigans you wanna get into with those. And then of course you have the 3 dupes that have holes cut in them already. So again, a lot of shenanigans you can get into with those. And then you have some impossible chips. So I'm not gonna talk too much about what these do. These are gonna be a little surprise for you guys to figure out once you start watching the tutorial videos, right? So that's what physically comes in the set. Now, what are you learning as far as routines and material goes, right? You have some bonus ideas. You're actually gonna learn Chad Long's 4-coin production, but it's been modified to be able to perform with this routine. So again, if you wanna show that you have nothing in your hands, and then you take out some flash paper and you can do a fire routine where you produce the poker chips one at a time, and it's gonna feel very much like a coin effect, right? So again, like I said, if you wanted to routine this together into like a whole gambling thing, you can do some card magic, you can do some coin magic with the poker chips, and then to kind of tie everything together, you can introduce some rings and you can do some fun stuff with Ninja Plus, right? So a lot of really cool things going on there. You're gonna learn some bonus ideas, like I said, coin productions, poker chip routines. You're gonna learn how to penetrate your finger through the coins, or should I say the poker chips, right? All kinds of fun stuff. And then you're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of the routine. And again, these are ideas that are gonna be taught by, you got Mike Hill, again from GIR. He's going to be teaching some of his ideas here. You're going to have Brian Hoseth, again from GIR, teaching some of his ideas. Of course, Matthew Garrett is going to be teaching his ideas and routines as well. And then his good friend and Brian's father, Boje Hoseth, is going to be teaching his ideas as well. So there's a whole bunch of really fun stuff that you're going to learn on here. There's hours worth of material. And again, it's all modular, so you don't have to routine it exactly the way that they teach you. It's kind of like they're going to teach you a bunch of different moves in sequences and moves that can kind of flow into other moves, and then it's your job to decide what you want to perform. There are routines, again, that you can perform right out of the box. You open it up and you could just make it happen, right? And like I said, it's super easy to do. And then there's more difficult routines that you can work your way up to. Mike Hill teaches some of the more difficult sleights and things that you're gonna do with this, right? Some of the best moves. Like Mike is one of those guys that, man, I watch him perform live and you're just like, oh my God, like I know how you're doing this because I perform this routine, but holy crap, do you make it look so cool, right? So some really cool stuff there that you're gonna learn that's a lot more difficult to perform. But again, don't worry about your skill level. You work up to that gradually. You start with the easy to do routines, right? For example, Matthew took this on Magic Wizard review, or Wizard product review, excuse me, with David Penn. And David Penn, he's not a new magician, right? Obviously he's been in the game for a long time, but he's not necessarily a magician that performs with the linking rings. Matthew Garrett was able to show him one move that you could do with this, and within 30 seconds of just practicing it, he was able to perform it on camera. So it really is that easy to learn. You can link the poker chips on, show that they're linked onto the hoop, take them off, hand the poker chips out for examination, and that could be a routine, right? Or, like I said, you can make it into a whole thing. It really depends on what you want to do. This works perfect in super close-up situations where you're within inches from a spectator. You can link the ring, you can pass it out, they can examine it, you can take it back, you can unlink it, pass the poker chip out, let them check everything. They're not going to find any gaps or any breaks or anything in the rings, in the poker chips. Everything is good to be handed out and examined, right? It's routined in such a way too that, like I said, everything flows from one move into the other. So there are going to be impossible moments where the spectator is really going to feel like, holy crap, I got to examine everything, right? Now, of course, there are gimmicks involved. Some things cannot be examined and whatnot. But again, it's all routined in such a way that it really feels like they got to check everything, right? They can examine the poker chips, they can examine the rings. Now, Can you perform this on stage, right? That's another thing with the close-up linking rings. With Ninja Plus, it's kind of hard to do on stage because you're using like your wedding band, right? And from far away, it's kind of hard to see. With Fusion, you're using a steel ball. It's a little easier to see, but also not necessarily something I'd recommend for stage. With GIR, you could perform it a little bit more easily on stage because you're not using small objects like a wedding ring. You're just using the rings themselves and joining them together and all of that. So GIR is a little bit more forgivable on stage. But if you had to pick a routine to perform on stage using the close-up rings, I think Ninja Plus Poker is the routine. Because again, these poker chips can be seen on stage and they're all different colors, right? So you have like 3 different colors that you can choose from and they can clearly see that the rings, boom, the poker chips one at a time are going on to the rings, and it's a lot more visual. So with Ninja Plus Poker, it's a lot more dynamic as far as your audience range goes, as far as what size your audience is, how far away from them you are. It can be done in formal close-up, it can be done in extreme close-up situations like strolling or table hopping, or it can be performed for like a parlor situation or a small stage, right? So all kinds of really cool things that you can do with this. Do I recommend it for you? Obviously, I'm gonna say yes. Maybe I'm biased because I perform with Ninja Plus, but I am gonna be using Ninja Plus Poker in my act when it calls for it. Now, what do I mean by that? I think that using Matthew Garrett's Ninja Plus is more for me, right? But when I am doing my gambling routines and I wanna do some coin work, maybe do like a little 3-fly kind of thing or a coins across, produce the poker chips, and then of course I'm gonna go into Ninja Plus and I'm just gonna do some of the same kind of routines that I do normally with Ninja Plus, but using the poker set, right? So that's the other cool thing. If you own other products by Matthew Garrett, you're already gonna know how to do most of the stuff that's taught in here. There's just some minor tweaks that you have to learn. And then of course, if you're looking to learn some new material, there's new ideas not taught in any of the other Ninja Plus products using the Ninja Plus poker sets. So now that you're super excited about buying this, where can you pick this up, right? There's 2 places that I recommend that you visit. If you're living in the UK or in Europe, closer to the UK side, please buy these from Matthew Garrett directly. You can find his website in the link in the description below. That's professionalmagic.com, I believe, or I don't know if it's professionalmagic.co.uk, but the link will be down below for you guys, so you can go ahead and check that out. If you're living in the United States, Mexico, Canada, somewhere in North America, please buy them from me. That is at o'brienmagic.com. I do have these on my website. If you buy these from me specifically, I'll also be tossing in my Ninja Plus sessions for free. That is another 2-hour video that I am going to teach some of my ideas, some original ideas that are not taught anywhere else. And you're gonna get a nice quick start guide to Ninja Plus. So for those of you that feel a little overwhelmed, I'm gonna basically walk you through step by step some routines that you can do to get you started. There's a basic routine, an advanced routine, and then a routine that's 100% made up of moves that are not taught anywhere else. So you're not gonna wanna miss out on that. But yeah, we got bundle deals going on. We got bonus ideas, gifts to give away for free, and all kinds of fun stuff at o'brienmagic.com. So if you guys wanna pick these up from me, you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, you can find them at your favorite magic retailers. I do believe that these are being distributed through Murphy's Magic, so if you want to buy them from like Vanishing Ink, Penguin, World Magic Shop, whoever is carrying these things, Alakazam, you're welcome to do that as well. But I highly recommend this. It's a lot of fun. It's different. It's a different take on the classic linking rings plot. That's Ninja Plus Poker, and again, I highly recommend that you check out Matthew's entire Ninja Plus range. I didn't even cover everything. I just covered the 4 main ring sets. You also got ring and bottle, you got bar blade, you got all kinds of fun stuff that you can do with this as well. So again, thank you so much for watching this magic product review. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.